Hey guys, it's your boy Paulo Castro. So today is April 19th, and the 19th for this day in history is really weird because there's a lot of jam-packed stories in here. So I'm going to try and go in order. If I get the order wrong, forgive me. But today we have the first bloodshed of the American Revolution. We have the first bloodshed in the American Civil War. Fast forward a little bit, we get the Oklahoma City bombing. This was Timothy McVeigh, a disgruntled U.S. soldier. In the late 80s, early 90s, with the fall of the Soviet Union, we start to find this kind of not. I'm gonna say the weekend warrior. The American government might be the enemy. These people. They run around playing paintball and shit. Well, Timothy McVeigh took his dissatisfaction with being discharged from the military, as well as there were two other events that kind of coincided with this or led up to this. One was an event called Ruby Ridge, where I guess we'll call them separatists. There was a fight over whether or not they had some weapons, and the FBI and the ATF basically chopped this family in half with bullets. And people thought this was an egregious act, as I think anybody would. But then a year later, today in history, we have the Branch Davidian compound fiasco. And if you're not familiar with that, basically down in Waco, Texas, the Mount Carmel Church, there was a dude by the name of David Koresh who had convinced his followers that he was Jesus Christ. And look, here in the United States, we really don't care who you pray to. But when you start stockpiling weapons and explosives, as the story goes, like some FedEx dude was dropping off a package, the bottom of the box fell out, and there was like hand grenades in there, so that set off a whole bunch of whistles. And what happened was the FBI and again the ATF, they roll in, and there were two schools of thought. The negotiators, the hostage negotiators, felt, hey, we got all the time in the world to get some kind of peaceful resolution to this. And then you had the other guys, the kind of boots to asses. They want to go kick some ass. Hey, we told you guys you got to come out. So, again, bombs and bullets. And the compound caught fire. Now, there's a little bit of an issue with the official story because the gas that was used asphyxiated some people. There were some questions as to whether or not it could cause a fire. Some of the members that survived, they said that they started the fire, which burnt down the building. Huge tragedy. So you got that stuff going on. So Timothy McVeigh, his disillusionment, and he's on that kind of outside fringe movement. Basically takes a U-Haul truck filled with diesel and chicken shit and blows up the Oklahoma City building. It was a federal building. A tragedy is a tragedy, no matter how you try to square that circle. But what really made people go, you deserve a special place in hell, is on the first floor there was a daycare center. So the 168 victims, I believe 20 were small kids. But also today in history, 1989, a story that kind of just goes to show that you got to wait till you get all the facts. So we have the Central Park Five. If you don't know what this is, check out the Netflix documentary. It's really good. Long story short, young white woman went for a jog in Central Park. She gets physically and sexually assaulted, and the police. There's some pressure. We gotta, somebody's got to pay for this. So they round up five minority guys, black and Hispanic guys, young guys, and basically they fit the profile. They through the questioning of the police, there was also some issues with due process, whether or not they had representation. I believe two of them were minors, or all of them were minors. It's been a long day. But there were a lot of questions about their confessions and the trial, and also trying things in the court of public opinion, because some people took it upon themselves to basically start calling for the death penalty for these guys. And the thing was, since we're dealing with minors, the guy in question that I'm going to talk a little shit about, Donald Trump, he took out a full-page ad in the paper talking about how the cops need to take back the streets, and they got to be tough, and we got to execute these little bastards, set an example. Only problem is a lot of people question the official narrative. And these guys were all handed sentences between 5 and 15 years. And while serving time, another criminal, not so nice guy, was in jail for unrelated charges. And he kind of put two and two together, and he goes, no, that wasn't these guys, that was me. DNA evidence was tested, and the Central Park Five were let go, and the city of New York had to pay out something like $40 million. I don't know if that was a piece or to the five individuals, but again, this is one of those trials or one of these cases where trying it in the court of public opinion, we allowed feelings to get ahead of the facts, and which we do oh so often. And one of the very interesting parts is in 2014 when all this got settled. They asked Trump. They said, "Hey, do you regret, putting out that newspaper article? Do you want to apologize?" And he sat there and said, "No, because no. I mean, what a jackass." So that's your day in history. Catch you guys down the road. See you.